see.
I'm taking a video so that I remember this.
Here. So you're going to go from this position.
Okay.
And you're just going to move right in and put them right over that hand and stretch them out, because you don't want to, if they're sitting, you don't want to bend them over their legs. That puts too much pressure on a full tummy. So I kind of stretch them out when I burp them. I know. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear a burp. Sometimes if you don't get one this way, then I'm going to tickle you right there. Sometimes if you flip them back and sit them up, that will
get a burp.
Just because it's a position change. See, those bubbles move around, huh? Are you being hungry again? Oh, are you not done? You changed your mind? You think you want to eat some more? Is that what it is? Yep.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes burping will... And you still haven't taken a breath, buddy. Come on. There's breathing. It'll take a bunch of little sucks, and then he does bigger ones. And you can see he's swallowing every time, because see the muscles contract up under his neck?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a big old swallow. But you have to remember to breathe, too. Okay, breathe for a minute. Yep. I try and stay away from their face as much as I can when they're eating. Our faces are super sensitive,
right?
Especially around our mouth, our cheeks, you know, chin, neck. And truly, if they're getting that tired that they're not wanting to eat, and you have to do things to stem them to keep them awake, then I would say they probably have an increased risk of choking, because if they're that sleepy, they maybe shouldn't be trying to eat.
Right.
But like I say, I'll just do this.
Okay.
If I'm not sure if they're still awake or not. Sometimes I'll shift my position a little bit, but I don't mess with the bottle and I don't touch their face.
Okay.
There's some good breathing. Nice job taking a break.
Seems like he ends up getting a rhythm eventually, huh?
Yeah.
But then he gets tired.
The eating is the most work they have to do. I mean, if you figure that they are not entirely coordinating their suck, swallow, and breathe all the time, I mean, that's a lot of work, because you have to hold your breath to swallow.
Right.
So for them, it's like running a race.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some breathing. So you see his shoulder go up and down too. If you get handed him and he's all wrapped up and you can't see his neck or his chest or his shoulder, and you can always unwrap him.
Okay.
Did I hear some breathing? Yeah. And as there is less and less milk in the bottle, you will have to, you know, kind of turn him a little bit more towards his backside. Otherwise, you won't be able to get all the milk in the nipple. Right? It'll all be hanging in the bottle. And you want to try and make sure his nose and his belly button are lined up, because if your head is cranked to the side, it's hard to swallow with your head turned.
Okay.
So you want to try and keep everything lined up.
Straight.
Oh, big breath. And the way you hold his head too, you want to make sure it's not tipped back, because that can expose his airway. And you want to make sure it's not tipped too far forward because then it's hard to breathe.
Close the airway.
So his head nicely balanced in good posture on his shoulders, and then his nose and his belly button lined up. Here's breathing. If he's the kind of guy that when he wakes up he wants to eat right now, then there's no law that says you have to change his diaper first. You can take his temperature and feed him. Because sometimes if they wake up and they're upset and they're starving and they're sucking on their pacifier for like 5 or 10 minutes, then they might be too worn out to finish their bottle.
Oh, gotcha.
So I don't know what kind of guy he is. Some kids it doesn't matter, and other kids, the minute they start crying and flailing around and sucking, they're already burning up a bunch of energy they need to eat.
Okay.
So I mean, if you feed him ASAP and he starts to get tired in the middle of the feed, you can take a break and change his pants then.
Oh.
And then continue feeding.
Then continue. Oh, okay.
But we do give him a 30-minute window for eating, and that includes diaper changes or anything else. So, because once they start eating and then they go past 30 minutes, they're starting to burn as many calories as they're taking in.
Wow.
So it's not worth, trying to keep them awake and stuff.
Right.
Because you're not gaining anything by doing that. You just have a little left.
You're so close.
And we call it, once they hit 75% of their feed, we call it good. I don't worry. If he gets tired, he starts to slow down, it just looks like he's done. I won't push. I won't try and keep feeding. We really want to respect his cues, because the better we communicate with him, the better he's going to do. If we push him to eat more when he's too tired, it's not going to help anything.
Right. That's why after this, he'll probably pass out and doesn't move for a long time.
Yeah, he'll be pooped.
He's pooped.
Buddy, I'm going to have to go see my other kids. I am going to need to stop because my other guys are almost a half hour late. Do you want to take over for this last little bit?